If you care about your music, Plexamp is the platform you should be joining right now. It's the best music player of the last 10 years that you should know about. Streaming services are convenient, but are prone to all of the worst parts of not owning your music. Local music players weren't very convenient in the past, but you'd never have to worry about losing your music, playlists, or time spent curating your library. With as many services that we pay for now, why isn't the way we listen to music better? For many years, the audiophile community has used music players like Plexamp to manage their music playing needs, and for good reason. Streaming services just haven't kept up with the features available on the service. If you've never used a music player, don't worry, there's nothing to fear here. Essentially, this can be as simple or as powerful as you want it to be, with intuitive menus that will hold your hand along the way. Plexamp isn't just a simple music platform, it can be a whole home media service, a curation tool, and even a car companion. You can absolutely treat Plexamp like a normal streaming music player, or you can get in the weeds with advanced features that you just don't find on competing platforms. When you open Plexamp, you can see your library of content, which can be played on your phone, headphones, or whatever device you connect to. On the home page, you'll see your recent plays, your recently added music, and playlists. Underneath are auto-generated radio stations of your music sorted into modes like decade radio, artist mixes, and more. Using a Plex Pass supercharges Plexamp by unlocking features that allow you to take advantage of decades of knowledge and development to tailor instantly generated playlists based on your parameters. In a particular mood, pining for a certain decade, or have an off-the-wall set of wants that can't be articulated cleanly. Features like Sonic Sage and Supersonic give you the ability to go from idea to playlist in a few seconds. Let me show you a bit more about how Plexamp could fit in your daily life. I listen to music for over 10 total hours a day between my job, commuting, and attempting to get my infant son to go to sleep at night. That's a lot of listening to what could be loaded with repeat tracks. What I need out of a music player are new and creative ways to expand my musical horizons with extremely specific constraints. But I have to be able to transfer tracks to my phone for offline listening because I don't have infinite data. With a subscription to Plexamp, queuing up music for these situations isn't something that adds any time to the daily routine, and you can cache a huge amount of music for your trips away from your home network. Say you've got 10 minutes before you need to be in the car, and you will completely lose your mind if you have to listen to a movie soundtrack for the 1000th time. Let's prompt an album filter with kids' music from our library that hasn't been played in the last week or so and download the resulting playlist. After tapping the download icon, we can make a use of a fast Wi-Fi connection to prevent burning through a data cap while we're on the road. After convincing my kid that, yes, in fact, she does have to put on shoes before going to school, Plexamp has already downloaded a 2-hour playlist onto my phone. Once we're all buckled in, I can listen over Android Auto in my car. After driving to the office, I step out of the car and realize I haven't loaded any music for my shift. Oops. So I go in and load up Sonic Sage. This feature uses my own music library, and with the power of ChatGPT, it constructs a tailored playlist to help me stay on task. I need something to keep the energy up, but maybe not so much on the vocals. So I'll include that in my prompt. After work is done and my oldest is in bed, it's time to try to get my youngest to sleep for a while. In my efforts to soothe the tiny little insomniac, I need to match a more serene mood with mostly instrumental tracks. Though I could make a curated playlist for that, and I really don't want to listen to the same stuff day in and day out. I need to have music that is going to soothe the little guy, but isn't going to drive me crazy. The guest DJ feature is excellent for this, and you can customize what kind of vibe or sound you want your playlist to follow. Next, let's say it's the weekend, and I'm gonna go chill for a little while. I've been in a musical rut lately, but I'm not entirely sure what are the tracks to dust off for the recharge. With oral fixations, you can do a mental rewind of sorts by specifying a time period in your listening that you'd like to revisit and sift through your most enjoyed tracks. Because I'm me, I break out the headphones, but as an audio enthusiast, I want the best audio quality possible. Plexamp already supports my lossless collection, but what about adjusting my headphones' performance? In the settings, you can mess around with a 10-band equalizer, but what I like to do is use the open source library of headphone measurements made by respected members of the audio community to automatically tune headphones to sound as good as they can without any tinkering. Let's take a look at the equalizer. From your home screen, you can navigate to the settings pane and look for the playback option. Once there, you should be able to see an option for an equalizer. Tap the equalizer to open, and you'll be greeted with a 10-band equalizer that you can adjust with the graphic EQ, tap the numbers at the top to zero them out and try again. My favorite feature here, though, is the automatic EQ. Scroll to the bottom of the page and tap the prompt. From here, you can navigate a giant database of most of the headphones ever made, as measured by members of the audio community. To search for your headphone model, tap the prompt and start typing. It should be able to find exactly what you're looking for, especially if you're using your own pair of headphones that weren't modified. You'll know you've succeeded when you see something like this. You can now start listening to your music with adjusted tunes. It should sound a lot better, but if it doesn't, don't worry, you can always change it to your tastes. Of course, this is just some of what Plexamp can do for most of us, but we've only scratched the surface for our power users. If you want to get your feet wet before committing to anything, you can always give the free version a whirl, but the features shown today are only available with the Plex Pass. If you'd like to know more about Plexamp, check out plexamp.com for more details, tips, and links to download the player onto your source of choice. Thanks again to Plex for inviting Android Authority to take part in Plex Pro Week, and thank you for watching.